Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about Red-White Initiative and how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Legacy. Now if you want to understand this deck a little bit better, talk about the card choices and stuff like that, I posted a deck tech yesterday. You should check that out, but we're going to jump right into it. Starting off with talking about the sideboard just a little bit. The sideboard cards are pretty straightforward. Swords of Plowshares for creatures, Containment Priest for Reanimator and Sneak and Show and things like that. Very Macabre for Reanimator specifically, because it's a bad matchup. Pyroblast for blue decks, and Magus to the Moon for decks that, like Blood Moon, messes up. The first deck we are going to learn to sideboard against is Grixis Tempo, Grixis Delver, whatever you would like to call it. Against this deck, we are bringing in Swords to Plowshares, Magus to the Moon, and Pyroblast. A lot of versions of the deck don't play basic lands at all, so the Magus and Blood Moon can like pretty much obliterate the deck. So this is one of those decks that like has a lot of answers to what we're trying to do, and we want to make sure that we can kind of go card for card with them. So I actually like cutting Chrome Mox in this matchup. Archon of Emeria is kind of cute if you do it on turn 1. You can kind of slow them down a turn or whatever, but really we're afraid of their Force of Wills, and if Archon is the card we're casting on turn 1, it's pretty medium. So I like cutting back on Archon, and then we're going to shave a Solitude. We have enough removal with like Swords of Plowshares and whatever that I'm okay with cutting a Solitude, because I don't really want to be pitching cards to Solitude too much against this deck, because we want to go card for card and overpower them. So that's how I sideboard against Grixis Tempo. The second most popular deck in Legacy at the moment is Death's Shadow, and we're going to be sideboarding exactly the same. This is a tempo deck that we want to make sure we can kind of stop what they're doing. So really straightforward. Again, for all of the same reasons, the matchup plays out really similarly, except Death Shadow is a little less consistent and a little bit more explosive. And so I sideboard against Death Shadow. The third most popular deck in Legacy is Painter. Against Painter, we are bringing in Swords of Plowshares, because they have a lot of creatures that's really important that we deal with. And we're going to be taking out Blood Moon. Chalice of the Void is only fine because of like Painter for blue, and then they have access to Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, and stuff like that. It's Goblin Welder. Also makes it so they can't literally cast Grindstone. They have to figure out another way to get it on the battlefield. So Chalice is okay. Let's try sideboard against Painter, or Mono Red Painter specifically, because Blood Moon doesn't really do anything but slows down their fast lands. And I guess it hits Urza Saga, but I'm not super worried about that, because we should be killing before that becomes relevant. The fourth most popular deck in Legacy is Reanimator. Obviously, we're bringing in Fairy Macabre. We are bringing in Containment Priest. And we are bringing in 3 Swords of Plowshares. Only 3 because we are cutting Blood Moon, because it's really easy for them to get colored mana, and red is one of their colors, so it's like not good. Fable, because it's just often too slow against the deck. And then we're cutting Archon. Archon, again, is one of those decks where it's a little cutesy. It could be okay. Like, it's really good when they, like, Grizzlebrand, draw cards, and then, like, want to cast more spells, but they can't, and then we untap and have an answer to Grizzlebrand. I'm not really interested in those, like, pseudo corner cases, though, because it doesn't really slow them down too much unless we turn 1 it on the play. So this is how I sideboard against Reanimator. The fifth most popular deck is Nyalome, also known as Selesnya Depths, whatever you would like to call it. I'm a big fan of Swords to Plowshares, being able to deal with all their creatures, and Magus to be able to stop them from being able to do any of the sick land stuff. That being said, Fable of Mirror Breaker is kind of medium because it's a little slow, because this deck goes pretty quick. And then we're going to be shaving on Chrome Moxes, just because we'd like to do anything else. So I sideboard against Nyalome. The sixth most popular deck in Legacy is Mono Red Prison. Against Mono Red Prison, we are bringing in Swords of Plowshares. Not necessarily because it's good. It can kill, the Legion War bosses and stuff like Goblin Rabbit Masters and Cave of the Chaos Adventure and stuff like that, which is all pretty fine. But it's mostly so we can take out Chalice of the Void, because it's real double dog bad. And then we're bringing in Containment Priests, not because it's good, but because it means we can take out some number of our Blood Moon. And frankly, Magus is better than the 4th Blood Moon, because at least Magus is a creature. Containment Priest, like, as kind of a corner case, though, is really good against the backside of Fable, like, because it exiles and tries to come back, and it's a non-token creature, and so it makes it so it doesn't work. But other than that, like, we're just trying to take out our bad cards. We're sideboard set up really poorly for the Mono Red Prison matchup. So let's say sideboard, though. The 7th most popular deck in Legacy is Death and Taxes. Against Death and Taxes, obviously, we're bringing in Swords of Plowshares. Because they run so many basic lands, Blood Moon isn't very good in the matchup, I don't think. And that's how I sideboard against Death and Taxes. The 8th most popular deck, ironically, is 8-Cast. Against 8-Cast, we are bringing in Magus, because they don't actually run that many basic lands, and being able to take out Urza Saga is pretty dope. We can actually lock them out pretty easily, provided that they don't have a Mox Opal. We bring in Pyroblast, it takes out most of their things, and Swords of Plowshares, so we can get rid of their threats and relevant cards. We're bringing out Chalice of the Void, doesn't really do anything. Bringing out Fable because it's just kind of like a cutesy card that's too slow. We like Archon a lot though, so we want to keep that. But often we grind with this deck and we go really, really card for card. And decks that we go card for card with, it's kind of tough to have these pitch cards, you know, so we want to be cutting either Chrome Mox or Solitude. I've gone back and forth with this. I think I like cutting the one of Chrome Mox because Solitude being able to answer the really important threats is important. So this is sideboard against 8-cast. The 9th most popular deck in Legacy is lands against lands. Obviously, we're bringing in Megas, so their lands don't do anything. And we're going to be cutting some Fables, and that's how I sideboard against lands. Try to do our thing and lock them out. And the 10th most popular deck in Legacy at the moment is Doomsday. Against Doomsday, we are bringing in Pyroblast, and we are bringing in Magus. It just being able to like kind of get them with the Magus and Blood Moon feels really good, even though they do run basics. And we're going to take out Solitude because very often if they're Doomsdaying, Solitude killing Thassa's Oracle, like it's not good enough. They have no cards in their deck when they're casting Thassa's Oracle 99% of the time. It's just cutesy and works once in a great while. It doesn't actually work. So sideboard against Doomsday. So there you have how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Legacy. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social media. Links are above me and in the description, especially on Twitter and Discord. Trying to get those communities combined with YouTube. It's really hard. We have a wonderful night. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.